Is Hank Hill around here somewhere?
Uh, Yep, them and
I
boom.
saw what the Hank Hill. What the hell?
All right, now I got it. Boom. Son, get this shit out of here. All right. Yeah. Are we doing video?
Oh, you want me on video? You tell me, bro. Whatever you want to do.
No, you whatever you're most comfortable with.
What matter with me, bro? I could turn on the video. Yeah, why not? I have a cool background. There we are. I moved to the garage. There's no longer a green screen. I mean, I don't have as cool of a background as you, but at least I got
I mean,
something.
this is the garage as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is where our women kick us out too, bro. You married?
No, I left. I didn't get kicked out. I left.
He's I'm done. Latest.
Yeah, this is what COVID gave me. You know, I mean, not the actual disease, but the pandemic, so to
Mm.
speak. We got into, we was stuck in the house. Well, she was at first. I mean, I was still going to work because I'm essential, and we was just in the house together all the time. And then she got mad at me, and I got mad at her, and I just went in the garage and built a room.
I wish I could build a room. I mean, you actually built a surrounding for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, this is just outside of these walls is the garage. This room is inside the garage.
Oh, that's cool though. I wish I had that. I have to use the garage in general with a foldable table. In case I want to bring, I could just fold and go.
Yeah, because I mean that was like you say you wish you could do it. I mean, you can do it because I have no experience at this shit, and it's just I went to school. The University of YouTube taught me everything that
Oh,
I know.
hell yes, son. Oh yeah.
And then and it was my fault too because I've said this many times or whatever. It's like I was fortunate enough to have both parents. I had my dad, and my dad knew how to do things, and he tried to teach me how to do the things that he knew how to do. But I did not blame him because I did not learn anything. I put it on
Mm.
myself because I didn't take the time to pay attention.
Ah, there you
So I
go.
mean, he built houses and tear a car apart, put it back together. I think he tore it apart initially just to figure out how to put it back together. But so he
That's
did
the way you
shit like
learn.
that. He did shit
Excellent.
like that, and I watched him do it, but I didn't retain enough of it to just to keep it. And
That's nice because my father says that to me growing up because he learned to do a lot of things, but by looking.
mhm,
He goes, just view people. That's why I'm always an observer, and then I try to replicate.
yeah, because it's just like you come in here, here you go, here's the instructions, and I'm like, all right, I think I got it. But daggone, when you start putting the things in my hands and you show me how to do it, I was like, oh, I got that. Legos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how I am with computers, bro. I could
Uh,
tear it apart and put it back together in a heartbeat.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. This is like my first proper PC rig that I have right here,
Oh,
and I
nice.
I,
Congrats.
I did not build this one, but I picked everything that's in it. But when I did the upgrades, that's the part that I did. So I got it everything stock, and then when I start making the additions and add-ons, that's what I started getting in there and start doing
Nice.
things. And I was a little bitch about it. I ain't gonna lie, because some of these require some rugged man hands, and you gotta like rip some
Yeah,
shit.
you
And I'm
can't be
just
scared, bro.
yeah, exactly. And I was
They're
just
built
like,
to last.
I was like,
Some of the things.
I said, man, I just spent like $1,800 on all this shit. I ain't gonna be sitting here trying to rip shit and break it or whatever because the putting the fans in the front, they got a plastic cover. It got a handle on the bottom, and
Yeah,
you gotta yank that bitch off. There's no screws or nothing. It's like the little clip pins. And I was like, I'm looking on.
you're sweating. Like, oh my God, I don't want to break this
I know
shit.
I'm on YouTube trying to find my specific case to see if somebody tear it down, so I know if I'm doing it right and shit. And I was like, and the guy in the video said, "Hey man, you can't, you got to be rough with it. You got to yank it." And
And a lady,
I was like,
it's
all
not
right.
your lady. It's a hooker. So might as well just get a little rough. It's all right.
I was just like, oh, it's not broke.
Excellent, 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 bro. And I like your logo, man. Hot, great looking logo, bro. I always like to, look for things that a podcaster, vidcaster does it, and your logo really, really stands out, bro.
Which one? I got a whole
The
bunch of.
random ramblings on the back behind you.
Oh, this one.
Uh,
Oh, that one.
behind your right shoulder.
This one. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good
that
one.
is, since I am in Houston, Texas, that is a knockoff of the Houston Astros logo.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's a nice one though. You did a great job with it.
I know I need to do more with that. I mean,
Yeah, she needs to make some T-shirts and everything.
been sticking with the OG logo because I made that in my phone.
Ah,
This
gotcha.
is like it's no shit. It couldn't have came together no more randomer than that logo right there came together. The one that's like official for the show. I was playing with this Adobe app, and I just typed in the words "Random Rams with Rob," the little skull joint right there. I just put it on there because the original picture of that skull is black and white and red.
Okay.
And matter of fact, was the original concept for it.
Of course, better be on some clothing. Oh, not. Oh,
Yeah, this is the original logo.
ooh. Okay.
So this was from 2012, 2013. That's damn many years before I even thought about doing a podcast. Because
Gotcha.
I like to at the time I was really into graphic design and I wanted to make my own shit called Addictive Concepts. So
Gotcha.
this was the logo that I had, and I kept it. And then when it came, I put it in Adobe program. I put this in there without the wording on it, and I typed in the Random Rams with Rob, how you see my logo, and I just pressed the randomize button, and that's what it spit out.
Too funny.
And I was just
Too
like,
funny.
oh, then I put the little with Rob on the bottom, and I was like, that's it, I got it.
Too funny. A totally random way to do it. It's so funny because one of my team members is called Josh the Random Dude.
Mhm.
I mean, I got to get on you with Random Rob, and then it'll be just a random show.
Yeah, you know what? For a time when I first started, because you probably went through it as well. You got a podcast, a couple of them, and you look for your name, what you're going to call the thing or whatnot. So you get on iTunes or wherever they got podcasts, and you just type in that name to see if somebody else has it.
Yeah.
So nobody has my name.
Sometimes that doesn't work though, because I
Yeah.
came across a situation where because it's Undercover Case Podcast Network, we have shows on the line. Unfortunately, Podbean, my host, doesn't let me allow to break those out individually,
Yeah.
to have its own RSS. So come a few months ago, we see somebody use the name outside the panels. We're like, yo, what the fuck? We've been doing this show for fucking massive years already. That's
Yeah.
our title. Well, bottom line, they got the RSS, we don't.
Yeah.
So way we did it, okay, well, we're the original outside the panels. All right, guys. And you got to make sure that when you guys do your show, you say you have nothing to do with UCPN because outside the panels is really for us, and that's how people know it.
Yeah.
So they agreed to do that. Like,
Oh,
okay, so we'll do a disclaimer.
see, that's civil.
Because I let my boy handle it.
Yeah.
Because I come out with the New York shit real quick. I'm an asshole that way because I'm like I get livid because like do your homework, bro.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And I come out my face that way sometimes when it comes to listen, I'll be nice to everybody, but when you're trying to step on my toes, not now, you fucking with my food, then now I'm gonna fuck with you.
Like, look here, motherfucker.
Yeah, bro. I'll come out dude. I make my team laugh. That's why they warn me like in advance. Hey, I'll take care of this problem.
Mhm.
Like, you sure? Like, yeah, I'm sure. Not that I make things worse, but I'll make people feel a certain way. And hey, that's all we gotta do, man. I'm protective.
I understand. Yeah, because like I looked it up and nobody had that name for
That's
their show.
beautiful.
And but the only thing about it is, I think 2-3 years in, I started, shortening the brand to 3R show,
Mm.
So I just so happened to get it on Twitter. 3R show. Boom. Great. Then I just changed because I didn't have too many other social media, but whatever I did put it on, it was available. So like Twitch and YouTube.
You took it all.
But when it comes to this motherfucking Instagram, there's a bitch on there that has the 3R show hashtag, account name.
Yeah.
And has not posted since September 16th of 2015. And I'm like, what the fuck?
So wait, don't the names expire though if they haven't seen login or usage after?
Well, see, that's the thing about it though. It's just I DM'd the account, never heard anything from it. But it might be just one of those things that people make an account just to look at Instagram. You know, they don't post anything. They just have an Instagram so they can look at Instagram. Because I have a TikTok. I don't do no TikToks, but I use it to look at TikTok. You know,
You don't be ticking and talking, bro.
Nah, I don't be ticking and talking.
Yeah, that ain't my shit either. Though. I mean, but the thing is, as a brand owner, we have to utilize it.
Yeah, I have
somehow.
I have it there. But
me too. I do just like you do. Listen, right now we're vibing because what you just did for your brand is what I tell everybody to do because they don't know what to do. I'm like, secure your fucking name. That should be the fucking first thing you do. Secure your name. You secured it everywhere and found the problem. But I'll work on the back end to figure that out for you because I'm pretty sure that they're probably not using it. I mean,
you gonna
you see nothing.
Man, what, you gonna send little Tony in there, break his legs and shit? Hey, man.
Big tone, not little tone. I said big tone for that one.
Well, I appreciate you upgrading from little to big for that.
That's what she said.
Hold on, dude.
Oh,
we in the club.
Yeah, man.
Oh, but shit. I mean, 2016 was a humble beginning for me. I mean, where did it all start for you? I mean, you make the move from up top, you come down bottom, you following your kid around there, making sure, you know, Big Tony is watching out for her and everything. So, I mean, what started this venture in the broadcasting for you?
Well, the broadcasting journey was just an extension of Comic Crusaders blog because I wanted Comic Crusaders to be a store. All right. But unfortunately, economic time, because this is back in 2006, economy tanked for a certain time.
Yeah.
So that really crushed the dream of the store. But I already had the domain, I did all that. So, wifey sees me like, shit, I don't know what to do with this now. I was like, fuck, I needed a store. Wifey says, hey, why don't you become like the TMZ of comics? Because she noticed one day that I had a hookup in New York at DC. And this cat was getting DC and Marvel comics in advance of release date. So I found him on Craigslist, if you believe it. And we started meeting in the city. So I started, buying bulk. I mean, dude, I would get a stack of books, including an omnibus for like $25. And I'm talking about books that are not out yet. So I had the scoop on the death of Peter Parker. And I also had the scoop on the death of Damian. My ass went ahead and took photos of that and shared it online. When I shared it online, the first one was the Peter Parker. And Marvel somehow got my Google number because that's the first thing. And they called me.
Say, hey, motherfucker,
take that shit down.
We got bigger Tony over here.
Oh yeah. I mean, he had Tone Hoke.
Yeah, we got large Tony over here.
So yeah, they were like, you got to take that down. I'm like, I will. They're like, take it down. I'll check back in an hour. If you haven't taken it down, it's gonna get a little bit, worrisome for you. Kind of, they were threatening me, But I'm new at this, all right, I'll take it down. I respect it. Then, they started questioning me. Even Bleeding Cool started questioning me. Oh, did you get the book and this and that? I was like, fuck you, because I never liked Bleeding Cool, because they were the ones that initially really blew me up, because Marvel only found out through Bleeding Cool. Because they went through my account and started, oh, look at what Comic Crusaders is doing. They're spoiling the story, although I didn't do that. That was the first time. And then I remember Bleeding Cool right here then. I said, these motherfuckers, not a problem. So comes DC. I had the Damian, remember the iconic Alex Ross Batman cover where Damian dies? Took a picture of that, shared that. And then next thing you know, I had a DC person call me. But not through Google or anything. They called my job. Don't ask me. I don't know how they got my job number, honest to God. And, it was the VP at the time of DC. And he's like, yo, you got to take that down. Where did you get that? I can't give you my sources or nothing like that, but I'll take it down. They're like, okay, take it down now, though. I'm like, I'm at work. He said, I don't care. Log in through your phone. Ask your job. You got to take it down now, and I'm going to stay on hold. Dude. I was like, oh, fuck. I asked my boss, can I,
they got large Tony over there, too. They cross-bearing. They be like,
hell yeah. Tony works everywhere, apparently. So, once again, it was Bleeding Cool that had blown that up. I go to their website first before I take it down. Like, these motherfuckers, like, why are they, like, on me like this? You know what I mean? And now I'm feeling on type of way because, this is Bleeding Cool is a white boy-owned company. And here's this little Latino independent trying to do something. Yeah. So now I'm taking this the wrong way now. Because, that's New York mentality. Like, okay, bro, it ain't about the news. It's maybe about my color or who I am. shitting on me. Whatever. I listened to the dude, took it down, but that helped me later on.
Mm-hmm.
So then I go home. I told wifey what the fuck I was dealing with, whatever. And she goes, "Why don't you do a TMZ of comics yourself? Like, do a news site." All right. You know what? That's not a bad idea, but I don't want to be gossipy like those bitch asses that we cool. Can't do
Yeah.
that. I don't want to shit on nobody. I want to celebrate the culture instead. So slowly and surely, I started building the site, learning, like you said, the school of Google and YouTube, built the site, and then I was like, okay, I need writers. I can't write all this shit by myself. So
Boy.
I said, okay, I have an idea. So I'm getting access to stuff. So how about if I just do a social thing? Hey, anybody want to be a writer? I can't pay you, but you're gonna have advanced looks at everything, early access to videos and movies and those. I mean, you don't need to pay motherfucking Disney Plus at this point. Let's put it that way,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I got what came was from my first writer came from the UK, if you believe it. My first official hire, other than one of my friends that was with me initially starting, he wanted to write. Then from there, I found let's skip a few years, from 2006, to 2014. This is basically just me doing blog box style stuff. 2014, I meet a kid through one of my blasts, asking, trying to recruit new writers because now I'm in full swing. I'm getting Uber access. I'm being blessed, and everybody had been telling me, "Why don't you do a podcast? Why don't you do a podcast?" I mean, I don't know how to do a podcast. I'm like trying to do all this content and manage a team on top of this.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, this dude came up and wound up hiring him. A month after the fact, he's like, "Why don't you have a podcast?" I'm like, "I don't know how to set it up." He goes, "Lucky you then. I'm all about that life." I said, "Word." So Undercover Capes was born out of that. And started he was the one managing everything in the first year. And then when he split from us, over bullshit stuff. A lot of people are emo. We're not looking for trouble or anything or drama,
Yeah.
but there's certain things we won't allow. And because again, as I said, I'm trying to celebrate the culture,
Yeah.
not shit on anyone, or even if it's against negative fucking people. I don't want to be one of those. I don't want to be in their club. I'm making my own club.
Got you.
So we didn't. I didn't meet no more. But what he did when he left was he goes, well, he says it was on his Podbean account. He goes, well, here's all the shows, and good luck. I'm like, what do you mean? So he sends me all the fucking shows, and this is the weekend that I had to go to New York for New York Comic Con. That he does this to me on that Friday before me leaving, bro.
Yeah.
I
Figure
opened
it
in
out.
a yep. I opened a Podbean account of my own and uploaded at that time over 26 different podcasts before leaving to New York by myself, blasted and changed everything like hours before leaving to New York. And then since then, is when I said, okay, there were certain people that had been writing for me with me for X amount of time. So what I did at that point was like, okay, so these people are riding with me. Now they're going to own a piece of the action. So those dudes that have been writing and ladies that have been writing or dying, I said, okay, we're going to do our own network. It's still going to be called Undercover Capes. However, the way I want to do this is because of you writing and dying, writing with me. I'm going to give you guys ownership percentages, that we invested. So when it comes to Undercover Capes, Comic Crusaders presents Undercover Capes. Undercover Capes, even though presented by Comic Crusaders, is in fact a separate entity that has a whole different hierarchy, if you will. Yes, I am the CEO, but then I have a team underneath that.
Word.
Where with Comic Crusaders, it's me, and now I have two partners that one partner maybe has been with me a year, and the other one has been a guy that's been with me, so I basically gifted him a percentage. Because like my man has created over 3,000 pieces of content at this point. His name is Johnny the Machine U, so shout out to Johnny. So it's all about building a team and just finding your path, and and never be afraid.
Yeah. Now, I want to rewind a little bit because I am not versed, little to none about comic books and everything. I mean, I know the characters, but my experience with these characters are through, secondhand from people who have the knowledge like yourself and, telling me the stories
Yeah.
and film and everything like that. That's, where I learn about these characters because, Michael Keaton, my Batman, Christopher Reeves, my Superman and all that shit, so.
Oh, they're doing those comic books, so
Yeah.
the Michael Keaton Batman and Christopher Reeve Batman. DC is making comic books, bringing their universe into comic form.
Oh, that's cool.
So you're gonna get Batman 89 and Superman was it 77 or 76, whatever year that was.
All right.
So we're gonna get that, and they look like Michael. He looks like Chris. You know what I mean? So if you're nostalgic for that, that's the comic book series for you.
Okay. But what I was saying though, you was talking about the death of Damien and everything.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't that like they did a poll for that, didn't they?
Oh no, the one you're thinking about is Jason Todd.
Oh yeah.
Now that's the one in the in the 90s or late 80s is the one that they did the poll, and I mean no one liked Jason. You know, you go from somebody like Dick Grayson or Jovial Youth. You know, he grew with Batman. Then you get Jason. You know, he's like one of these little street kids from New York. You know that you know think that they're older than they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, try to thug. So no one really liked him. He was a little crybaby.
Yeah, he was little Tony cousin.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly. You know, oh, it's like I'm gonna get big tone off you. Don't mess with me. I grew up with kids like this back in Brooklyn. There was this little kid. Yo, oh my God, his name was Pops. I couldn't stand him. This dude was like 7 years old, but he was strapped. So he was trying to always F with the older dudes and show the strap. Like, yo, what? I'm like, and it was a real strap. So I'm like, bro, God forbid I ever see you without that shit. Wait till I'm gonna give you a fucking beating. He goes, oh, I'll tell my brother afterwards. So like, well, get your brother. But for real, that's the way it was. So yeah, that was Jason Todd, and he was very hated. The most hated Robin in the history. I mean, even though Damian now comes into a close second, because I get where that comes from, because a lot of people don't appreciate Damian either. He's like a little spoiled brat, you know?
Yeah, because that's his son, right?
His son from Talia. You know, which is Ra's al Ghul's daughter.
Yeah.
So you know, and that Damien's first appearance wasn't a Batman issue. However, they're trying to say that his very first appearance was him in the test tube from the oh my God, it was a graphic novel by Ra's al Ghul, the demons something, and that you see, you know, like that he was in a test tube. So it's like, you know, who saved it? Was it Talia or Ra's? I mean, what's Ra's want? Race is acting a little weird, bro. If you're holding some Wayne nut.
Yeah, I mean, where he even get that from? I guess.
Oh yeah, come here afterwards and he's scraping there. Ew.
He did some bodyguard shit or whatever. He just went there and rolled it up off the sheets whenever they was finished.
Either that or he gave his daughter a pap smear.
No. Let's not journey down that imaginary path.
It is comic books, folks. You know, hey.
Yeah, but like, since you're doing like vlogs and podcasts and everything or whatever, since we've shut down essentially as a world, I mean, how has this affected you? I mean, because I mean, I imagine your life's blood is going to conventions and doing things like that, right?
Well, okay, so for my day job, I've been working from home for years already, 5 years. I've been working from home. So the overall concept of working from home, that didn't affect me, no. But the shutdown did, obviously, because conventions are a big part of what we do. That's how we sell the brand, if you will, you know. And me, I'm Mr. Network. I politic, I talk to everybody, every label. I'm just there. I'm not, a lot of people go for fun, of course, and to me, I'm just doing it for the biz, to be honest. It's like, I want to get my next guest, whether a podcast or a vidcast. I want to moderate. I want to film. That's kind of what we did at Rhode Island Comic Con in 2019. Myself and PCNN, which is the Critics Network, and Mario Esco. We worked together and we filmed at Rhode Island Comic Con. We moderated stuff at Rhode Island Comic Con. That was a blast. See, that's the end goal. And then, of course, throughout the day, able to mingle and talk to top-notch creators, and them giving you the time to chat just because you're pressed. Because again, certain shows, you got to hustle. Other shows, they give you the access.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, when you're given access, that's Reed Pop, San Diego, New York, you know, they give you the time. Hey, if we have a press conference here, you'll have X amount of time with the people. I love that. A show like the Rhode Island Comic Con, for example, tough, because they don't want you to bother them. You know, so they give you a press pass, and it's like, okay, here's a press pass. You're here, press and name only.
Yeah.
And good luck. So me, I would just bother. I would not bother, but rather speak to whomever had an empty table. So one day I'm there, Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor. They're like the Jay-Z and Beyonce of comics, if you don't know. All right, you know, they do Harley Quinn and
Oh, okay.
They've done Jonah Hex books. They own a company called Paper Films, which does a lot of kickstarting books,
Yeah.
which are amazing.
And I know who these people are because I've seen the animated franchises and I've seen the movies. There you go.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, so they're like one of the world couples of comics, right? Um, and they were there at what show was this? This is Boston Comic Con. And now when I look down, I'm looking at them, oh shit, what's up? And I look down the walkway, an empty table. Do you see this old man there all by himself? And when I raise my head to read the name, it's Marv Wolfman, Deathstroke's daddy.
Oh,
Teen Titan Marv Wolfman. I mean, he's a legend. He's there by himself. No one's talking to him.
opportunity.
Yep. Well, I ran and thanked him. My mom, yo, Jimmy, I love you, but this is Marv, son. I ran and man, I was like, this is crazy. How could nobody want to talk to a legend like you? I get it though. Harley and Amanda out there. You know what I mean? Marv is an old school creator that now he's getting blessed because I don't know if you watch the CW shows, but when they did the Crisis on Infinite Earth storyline, Marv was in it.
Oh shit!
He showed up. I was like, they finally gave him some love, man. Because he's one of the writers in there. So it's like he deserved to be there. When I saw him, I was like, damn it. 2 years later, but fuck, good that they got there and recognized who he is and give him this opportunity and bless him with the credit as he deserves.
See, when I talk to people like you or whatever, I see that I only like things or whatever, to where like here you are, you spitting the names of the people who make the things that I like. And I wouldn't know that edgewise, So it's just like, because I'm start saying that about myself. I like professional wrestling, but there are people out there who love professional wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen people spend their last, picking meet and greets over food.
Oh, yeah.
And shit, because they love wrestling that much and they love the people who do it. And I'm just like, I like wrestling.
No.
I like wrestling.
But I'm eating.
I buy a shirt, right? I buy a shirt here and there or whatever. I mean, I get a little piece of merch or whatnot, but I'm gonna eat.
I'll give you a story of dedication then, because my first time ever going to San Diego Comic-Con was also in 2019, and that happened through crowdfunding. I didn't expect it to happen. Like who cares about Comic Crew and Omega going over there, right? Let me tell you, apparently people did care. And I was reduced to tears when, for real, I cried like a little bitch. I'll be honest. Like, yo, these people actually care a lot. I really realized it that day. So I go to San Diego Comic Con and I go to my boy Clep from Critics, right? Now he's all about TV shows and movies, right? All he cared about was Hall H. So we were there Friday, we did our thing. Hall H Saturday, that's Marvel Day, right? So Money went there, he was online for at least 2 hours, got into Hall H to wait another 10 hours before Marvel came on. That's dedication. And I was like, Clep, I came here to network, so hopefully you get me in later. Because some one of us gotta get content upstairs. So I did my whole networking thing. I mean, I went up to Gail Simone, oh my God, Brian Pulido. There was so many folks to name that was just there because everybody's waiting at Hall H. So they emptied out the fucking floor. So you have a floor full of creators. Like, that's the secret, folks. Get someone to wait at Hall H to get you in afterwards. But yo, go upstairs while people are waiting. Yo, you get to talk to everybody. I had a blast. I networked, collected massive cards, got tons of books for review. And then I still was able to make it into the Hall H room. Clep somehow got me in because he got good with the lady. I don't know what he did, if he laid it down or what. You know what I mean? But the security lady was like, yeah, I know who you are. Go in. Clep got me. He saved me a little corner so we could stand for the rest. But obviously got to see the Marvel announcement, got to see all those awesome actors from the Marvel. We got to see, obviously, the announcement of Mahershala Ali as Blade at the very end. We're like, yo, he came out with that hat like all slick.
Oh man,
I have that video. You got to check that out.
Yeah, I had words about that casting pick or whatever. I mean,
wait. What? What's wrong? Well, listen, I know Wesley's still young enough to do it, at least in my opinion. But
but I mean, I understand. It's just like I know what I like and what I guess what I'm used to. You know, you're accustomed to a certain thing, whatever.
I
That's
get
kind
it.
of what you lean toward. But my thing is, what we had in Wesley was a guy who can do the work as well. I
Oh
don't know
yeah, he was an
everybody like
actual
that.
martial artist.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I
That's
get it.
and that's what I want all the time. And
It's
you
like
know,
Michael J. White with Spawn, and now you're gonna put Jamie Foxx as Spawn.
and that's another motherfucker we need to talk about real quick. We might have to send Big Tony to his house too. Why the fuck is goddamn Jamie Foxx chasing after all of Michael J. White's roles? You want to play Mike Tyson? Michael J. White already did that. You want to play Spawn? Michael J. White already did that. Get the fuck off my man nuts.
So listen, if Jamie Foxx tries to be Bronze Tiger on CW, because that's where Jay went.
Yeah.
After, you know, which is another martial arts character, then I'd be like, oh shit, you onto something here, Jamie. Why are you smelling his balls for, bro?
I know, man. You need to leave Michael J. White alone.
He could have still played Spawn too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But whatever. You want Jamie, you want the big name Todd. Hey, you know, it is what it is. I'm a big supporter of Spawn anyway. I have every issue since issue 1.
Oh man, that was another thing too. I just went back a couple months ago and I watched the HBO series.
Oh, the cartoon?
Yeah.
Oh, bro. I have all the tapes, but
oh look, there you go, pulling them out.
I have duplicates though.
Yep.
So these are my doubles, but I got the whole set in a box.
Word.
Yeah, man. So I know what you're talking. Yeah, folks, guys, kids. If you don't know, this is the look. Even has the.
Oh, it still got the sleeves in there.
Yeah, but look, guys. This is called the videotape. All right, kids.
Dude, I think the last VHS tape I owned was whatever album the Busta Rhymes put out that had "Give Me Some More" on it. I forget which.
No
album.
way! Oh damn!
I forget which album that was, but it came with a VHS tape of the "Give Me Some More" video.
Oh my god, bro! Classic. Yo, did you hear Busta's latest album? I mean, it took him almost since the '90s to make it.
I put ears on it. I've heard it, but I have not listened to it yet.
Okay.
So I mean, it played in the car, and you know, while I was thinking about other shit, so I never really sat with it and appreciated it. But from what I did put my ears on, pretty good.
It is fire. It's Busta, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we could go wrong with Busta.
Mm-hmm.
And as a legend still spitting fire because he did an awesome interview with Nori. I know Nori's annoying, but that was one of the few times that when Busta would speak, Nori was like, yeah, bro, be quiet because you be getting annoyed. I know you're having a good time drinking, but damn, let the man speaks, huh? Like I saw the one with DMX. I don't know if you saw that one. DMX was like a drunk uncle at a backyard party. He was having a good time for sure, but he was slurring words like a mother. I'm like, huh? What?
Well, X gonna give it to you, man.
He definitely was giving it to somebody that day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's another thing too. I mean, everybody, when it comes to podcasts, I think especially within the last, I want to say maybe 3 years, maybe less. It seemed like everybody just jumping on the bandwagon now, or whatever. As far as celebrities go, you know. And
see, I had a beef with that initially. I'm like, oh man, now they're gonna go into our space. The little guy can't compete. But I was thinking about it all wrong. There's this great show, and actually starts this week, kind of pregame. It's going to be full on next week. It's called Podfest. Mm-hmm. It's for podcasters or people trying to open a podcast. I mean, again, this is Podfest for me is college.
Yeah.
If you have the opportunity to partake, look it up. Podfest. It starts this week. Pre-gaming, you get a little taste of the content. Next week is the hardcore stuff. But it's 2 weeks of podcast madness. But in the last show, somebody was like, you shouldn't get mad when celebrities come on because they're a gateway for you to be found. Because people that won't normally listen to a podcast may listen to a podcast because Joe Schmo's on doing it now. And then when you start looking at recommendations, you never know what's going to be recommended. And a lot of the stuff that gets recommended sometimes are the smaller shows. So it kind of creates an avenue in the lane for you. So instead of getting upset, try to celebrate and or know how to circumvent and make sure that you're able to somehow win. And how, like on Google, for example, you could do YouTube. Mm-hmm. You could go and pick a video of a famous podcaster because a lot of podcasts, do vidcasts, right?
Yeah.
or transform them into video form. Bro, through YouTube marketing, you could pinpoint it and put your ad on a specific video on their platform. So you could use their fame, their audience, their sub base as an advantage to you. And again, these are all hacks. But instead of getting upset about the big names coming, it's like, okay, they're here. How can I use them now to further my brand? How can I get their people to notice me? And there's a YouTube hack for that.
Makes
You
sense.
see, so if you think about it in this just a little bit differently, it's not competition, but another way for someone else to find you.
Yeah, I mean, I get pissy about it, I guess sometimes or whatever, but I never really looked at it so much as competition. I don't look at anybody in the podcast game as competition. It's
Me
just
neither.
like it's like a peer almost. They're there for you to draw inspiration from in the network with if the opportunity presents itself. Not everybody has the opportunity to work with certain people, but I mean that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, the community is very open to collaboration, which is what's great. The podcast community, especially the independent podcast community, that's something I've come across to know. Very, very collaborative, knowledgeable. All about empowering each other, not myself. You feel me? So
Yeah.
I get that, and that's kind of how Common Crew and Undercover Capes approaches thing. It's not about us; it's about you guys. You know what I mean? So this is why we have so many damn shows. I'm trying to find anything to entertain you guys. Like even tomorrow, I have a box opening with a very cool product.
Stay tuned for more.
Whereby, there you go.
Yeah, I tried to do that shit. It's just I don't know. It's something that I want to try, but it's more like I don't feel the need to do it. And like I'm under the assumption to where like if I don't feel like I want to do it, I don't think it should be something that I should be trying.
You're absolutely right, because if your soul is not in it, it's gonna show.
Mhm.
And you don't want that, because everybody finds me to be very energetic. Why? Because I want to do things I enjoy. I try not to do something where I'm iffy about. You know what? This is why I have a team. God bless them. Because if I feel that, you know what, we need
Pass
this
it off to
content.
him.
Yeah, we need this content, but maybe they said something once that I didn't like. You know, I don't take personal, but if you are spreading a message maybe that I'm not in agreement with, you know what I mean? I won't do it because I will bring it up. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to shit on nobody. That's my whole point.
Yeah.
Like, I rather do the things that I enjoy and love. That's
And then
it.
it's kind of like some of the stuff I want to do is almost like an attaboy type thing or whatever. It's just like they're not paying me to do it or whatever. It's just like shit that I like and I want to talk a little bit about it or whatever.
And
But
that's
it's
fine.
it's just the process of it or whatever. Because I mean, I like using my cameras and shit like that or whatever. But I think I'm more in love with like not so much being in front of the camera, which other than what we're doing now, which my shit is blurry as fuck. There you go.
There you go.
Focus. I had to put the magic fingers on it.
Oh shit, bro. Is that what wifey said too, bro?
See, now it's blurring out again. Come on, magic fingers.
There you go.
There you
Wifey's testing you. She's blurring it out to see, look at my man's fingers.
But yeah, you made me think about my wife. Now I'm messing it. But I think I enjoy the process more than actually being in front of the camera or whatever. I like obtaining the knowledge of how to work these things rather than putting me as the focus of whatever. If like say it's just like how you saying it's like you want to do something, but say you don't know something, you don't know how to do this thing or whatever. Oh, he might know how to do it. And that's like I like to be that guy sometimes. I was like, hey, I know how to do that shit. And I just pop up with my shit. Wow. Look, here we go. Opportunity.
Oh, I've taught many of my team members and friends that are outside of the network trying to do things. And I say, hey, are you open to criticism? I always ask first, because, no one wants unwarranted or unasked for opinion.
Unsolicited.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I was like, yo, you want to, most people are very receptive. I'm like, great. I've helped them step up their game. They're like, oh, shit, bro, thank you. I'm like, okay, that's all. I just want everybody to look good at the end of the day. You know what I mean? If I see something's off, I'll tell you, okay, I think this looks off, bro, That's all. Like your setup is fire right now. I like
Word.
it.
Appreciate it.
No problem, bro.
Got my mustache banana over here.
Oh shit, yo, man, those mustaches, yo, that's the style. You gonna do that twisty tie thing? Wait a minute. I think that's Steve Harvey's mustache. Did you shave him, bro? Did you see Steve Harvey in the new Mortal Kombat movie? He's Jax.
Yeah.
He got
That's
Diesel, bro. No wonder he stopped doing the morning show.
yeah. That was the running joke about that. That shit is hilarious. Well, I mean, matter of fact, since you brought it up, how do you feel about this new Mortal Kombat movie?
Listen, compared to what we had before, and I
Okay.
always say this almost with everything, it looks pretty dope.
Mhm.
The costumes, the action sequences. But when I saw that dude playing Jax, I just could not get Steve Harvey out of my head, bro.
Mhm.
I just started dying. But other than that, though, for
Mhm.
me, it was good and cool. I try not to judge anymore because
Yeah.
and the reason I say that, when I saw Hugh Jackman for the first time with Wolverine, just when they cast him, I said, Australian. That dude is mad skinny, mad tall, blah 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 blah. But bro, who's our Wolverine now?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you can't. So I was like, okay, stop, Al. Don't do that no
Mhm.
more. Let's just give it a chance and let's see. You
Yeah.
know?
I,
Like for
I,
me, my
I,
favorite DC movie, I didn't like the actor too much. I thought he was a little corny at first, But then after he did this movie, I was like, oh shit, this is my favorite DC movie. Shazam.
yeah, that was pretty good. It was a pretty good film. I've come to that conclusion as well, later on in my life, and especially start doing this podcast because you get people that are artists in
Yeah.
many different facets and whatnot, and you get to know the people behind their art, and it's like they're putting time into something, regardless if you think it's good or not. They're actually putting in the work and actually putting the time
Yes.
in. So I quell a lot of my criticism till after I sit and watch the product and whatnot. I don't even really get into trailers and shit no more. Somebody be like, "Oh, the new such and such trailer come out." I was like, "All right, when does the only thing that I want to extract from the trailer is the release date, so I can know when to turn on whatever streaming
Yes.
app or try to find out when I can watch it." I don't need because
Ooh.
right now everybody's talking about this motherfucking Snyder cut, and
Yeah, I was about to ask you, bro.
it's driving me fucking crazy. It's getting on my goddamn nerves.
But dude, today they released that we're gonna see a superhero in the end credits. Everybody's talking, is it Green Lantern? And if so, which one?
Yeah, really. And it's just like, why do we need to know that?
Because
Why is that information pertinent to this situation?
because Snyder's trying to do anything to make sure we view it on that day.
They launched HBO Max around this whole Snyder cut shit. People are going to watch it. My thing was like, before they even put the money down to actually bring this into fruition, to make this a real thing, he was talking about, hey, we had a Snyder cut and it had all this cool stuff in it. And I was content with that. I was like, oh man, that's a cool what if. I could have been cool with that. But
He
bitches
said,
started
"What if?"
complaining like, hey man, it would have had this too. Hey man, it would have had this too. And honestly, I don't think he really did that shit. I think he was just saying shit and they wind up giving him money and he had to pull shit out of his ass and make it and create it. And
The fake it to make it routine of stuff where you fake it, you tell people you got this, and then once they tell you, okay, so let's see it. Oh shit, time to make it.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say though that the dark side looks like it's a complete improvement. Steppenwolf looks like the new god Steppenwolf.
Mm-hmm.
So there's certain things that I've already seen in the trailer. I'm like, okay, this is more true to the comic than anything.
This is it's not the Snyder cut. It is the fan service cut.
Yeah, you go. That's the word. Yeah, bro. The FS cut.
Yeah. And that's fine, but why you just didn't do this shit from the get-go? Yeah. I know certain productions have, limitations and everything, but I mean,
but there was that drama and then it was dropped. Somebody else came in and finished it, whatever. Yeah. But you still allow that version to exist and still be released. Mm-hmm. So I guess you didn't have much confidence in the person that you replaced it with. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And they probably got tired of people bitching about it. It's like, oh, well, we got to recoup some money somehow. Snyder, here you go. And I don't think it was a bad movie, really. But I mean,
well, but that's people.
With anything, it could have been better.
Of course. I mean, but again, when you translate a book whether it's a comic book or a traditional book, to a movie, it's always going to lose something because whomever is directing it or producing it got to throw their effing 2 cents in it, not really respecting the OG content or, updating it to what they think is, more modern. Like, nah, man, give us what we read.
Uh-huh. And
Or at least do what Robert Kirkman did with Walking Dead. The reason Walking Dead is different from the comic and the order of deaths and who dies is because he wants to throw off the readers.
yeah,
So
exactly.
when you tell me that from the get, I accept it.
Yeah.
But when you try to say this is this and then it's completely different from what I read, this is not that. Stop it.
And I respect that as well. Cause like, once again, I'm not the comic book reader or whatever. I know what I know from media. So I've watched Walking Dead from day one all the way up to current, except for the new shit that they just dropped. I had to catch up on that.
You ain't see last night's episode. Okay.
Yeah. So I had to catch up on the new shit, but I have watched from day one. I found that shit by accident in Afghanistan. I was bored.
In Afghanistan.
Yeah. I was bored as
folks, you hear this? He found Walking Dead in Afghanistan, an American-born boy like this.
Yeah, so it was just like somebody had a hard drive and it had a TWD on there. I was like, "What the fuck is this? Is this some porn?" He's like, "Nah, man, it's a show called The Walking Dead because the first season was only
he
like."
He said porn.
Hey, man. Hey, hard drive trading gets rough.
I get it. TWD, two white dicks. Well, I don't know.
Too wide dildo, I don't know. But yeah, so I got it. The first season was like only 6 episodes or some shit, right? 6 or 7.
It was very short, very short first
So
season.
I got a taste of it. And I was like, oh, this is pretty good. This is a cool concept. And then when I got back to the States, I threw my wife on it. And by that time, I think season 2 was getting ready to start or it had started. So I was like, hey, look, this is season 1. You need to watch this. There's only like 6 or 7 episodes. So we watched it and we took the journey ever since. And I appreciate it because it's a good series. There's a lot of growth and development in characters and a lot of twists and turns or whatever. And this is a cool show to me because I don't know the source material. But from what I have heard of the source material, that is, it's not too far off, but it kind of nods to it, like how you were saying and whatnot. So I appreciate shit like that, just for my own knowledge and shit. But the show as is, without the source material, I think it's fine.
Well, it's a great show, absolutely. And so I actually bought that comic book off the stands for a minute. I collected from 1 to 100, but then I started seeing the prices. I'm like, this is gonna drop one day. So I made several stacks selling 1 to 100. But I was one of those early buyers. I picked that up the same day I picked up Conan from Dark Horse when Dark Horse got that, right? Mm-hmm. So I read that first issue, I fell in love. And I was like, oh man, this is zombies a little bit different, black and white comic. When I first started reading comics, I got into the black and white comics, meaning Savage Sword of Conan and stuff. Again, I'm a little kid, and Savage Sword of Conan, if you don't know what that is, was an oversized Marvel magazine that gives you stories of Conan, but they're very adult. So, that's my first look at titties and magazine and all, but mama, it's like, oh, these are just cartoon drawings. They ain't real. Like, oh, no.
Sure, mom.
Whatever you say. So I fell in love with black and white artwork ever since then. So when I saw The Walking Dead, I was telling my boys, these are comic collectors, bro. And they're like, oh, it's black and white, ain't gonna go nowhere. I'm like, bro, you guys are wrong. You guys are severely wrong. And of course, several years later, what happens? The books blow up. Good luck trying to find a 9.8 for $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
And my boy was like, you want to sell me your shit? I'm like, bro, you missed the boat, bro. You missed this.
You better get them digital copies, baby.
Hey, bro, that's what it is. I don't play with I really am a good speculator when it comes to looking things up that are low cost now so you can flip it later. That I'm pretty good with.
Mm-hmm.
And I found all these avenues, and it's just like, trust me. Just buy it, put it away. That's all. You'll thank me 5 years later.
Yeah, it's just like, man, I have a hard time just sitting still, let alone sitting still trying to read some shit.
But nowadays, comics, Rob, I swear, modern comics will take you 10 minutes to read.
Yeah,
old school 70s comic, that'll take you a half hour.
I kind of got a taste of it because I went back not too long ago, and I read all 6 issues of the Scott Pilgrim books.
Oh wow! See, that movie I love. That was a fun movie. Although different from the comic, but still was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So it came out 2010 or some shit, right? Because they just had the 10-year anniversary. And I hadn't watched it since it came out on Blu-ray. So I'd never seen it in the theater, but I seen it on Blu-ray when it came out. And that was like one of the earliest Blu-rays I can remember even owning.
Oh, wow.
And I maybe watched it twice. And I didn't appreciate it for what it was then, you know. And then here we are 10 years later. One of the guys I know from another podcast asked me to come on and do a review of Scott Pilgrim. And I was like, word, I still got my digital copy from 2010 when I put it on my my freaking iPad and shit. Cool. So I had some downtime. I pulled it up on my iPad, propped it up, and I was like, dude, 10 years later, I appreciate this movie more so than what I did the very first time I watched it. Just the little things, and plus all the actors in the movie have moved on and did such great shit. We got Captain Marvel, we got Captain America, we got Superman in there. You know,
crazy, right?
Just to think about that cast alone. And I was like, this was on a book series, right? So I looked up Brian O'Malley, the author and shit. And I was like, oh, it's 6 books. And I was like, just based on the content of the movie, it's video game related and all this other stuff. I was like, my 10-year-old is going to like this.
Yeah.
So before I made her watch the movie, I made her read all 6 books. And then watch the movie.
Oh, what was the thoughts on your kid then? You know, seeing something such old content than an older movie. What was that like for
well, I mean, she is as old as the movie.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like for her, it was really relatable because I feel like it speaks her language because all the video game stuff and like comic books and the drawings and everything, it spoke her language, and so much more so did the books, because that's almost like her drawing style, because she likes to draw and shit, and she draws characters similar to the ones in the Scott Pilgrim books. So she's seen this, she's like, oh crap. And then I had to get on her ass because I never read the books and I just wanted her to read them first. So I was like, all right, here's book 1, read this book. Then she read it. I was like, all right, now give it to me so I can read it. Now here's book 2. And then I finished book 1. She dragging her feet on book 2. I was like, cause she's 10 years old.
Of course.
I was like, hey, read a goddamn book so I can read it. and I'm just waiting on her. So she finally get through all 6 books. I read all 6 books, and then we watch the movie. And we sit there, we watching the movie, and I'm sitting there with my shit eating grin. I was like, watch this in my head, because I don't want to spoil the movie. And I'm watching her react to the movie. She's like, oh, this is great. You know, and I was like, nice. I did a good job.
Nice.
But
good job on you, bro.
What I even noticed with her is she whenever she's exposed to the retro shit, she enjoys it. Because we went to Walmart one day, and I didn't know they had this, but she brought it to me, and it was a little handheld games. She's like, "What's the Oregon Trail?" I was like, yo, this is a game that I played when I was a kid. And they made a little handheld of the Oregon Trail.
Nice. Get out.
So she's like, you played this when you was little? I was like, yeah, when I was in school, when I was probably a little bit younger than you, I played the Oregon Trail. And she's like, I'm buying this right now. And she bought it with her money, and she played the shit out of the Oregon Trail.
Wow. Isn't that awesome when they find our stuff from our era? Because, you know, I went to a convention once, and I took my daughter. You know, she's a big video game girl and anime manga. You know, she loves Sonic. She loves Sonic. But we went to a convention once, and I ran into a dealer that had, if you remember, the old school Nintendo handhelds that you would open up and flip. That had the screen on the top or the screen on the bottom and the little controllers on the side.
Inspiration for the DS.
You know what I'm saying? So she saw this, she was like, oh, what's this? Like, that's how we used to game. You know, that was our portable, and it was not no Game Boy. It's just one game per thing.
You know,
You
the
know?
little white plastic joints, the tiger joints. They had like
Oh
Street
my God,
Fighter
yeah.
and
Oh my
Marble
God.
Madness and all kind of crap.
It was funny because yeah, the background always remained the same. It was just some pixelated black lines, you know, that you're doing your thing with, which is great. You know what I found on my phone the other day? Tecmo football.
Oh
Oh,
shit.
gee, dude, I am so hooked. My wife is like, "What are you doing?" When
Nothing.
she's in on my phone, when she's on LMN watching Lifetime because it's not my shit. I'm like, okay, I'll sit here with you, babe. But then I'm boom. Say, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm on Tecmo, bro. Tecmo. I finally got my first 2 wins. They assigned me the Jets, so that's why I've been sucking until now.
Sorry for your loss.
Hey, I'm a Giants fan, so I'm used to being. I'm a masochist. Apparently, I like to suffer.
when they won their most recent Super Bowl, um, the Giants. I think I might have been in Iraq or something like that.
Well, again, thank you for your service, bro. Because you're all over the world, huh? So you're
So
picking up Scott Pilgrim in Afghanistan, and you're finding about the Giants in Iraq. What the
so
hell?
so when they won, and I remember one of the plays. I forget what it is, but I remember the call from the announcer. He was like, "Touchdown, Giants!" And every time I did something after that, it's like even now to this day, that shit stick in my head. So like somebody do something cool, like they drop something, I'll be like, "Touchdown, Giants!"
Yeah, let me tell you, those are good years, and I'm waiting. I'm like, I have high hopes for DJ, but I know they're not really going to keep him. You know, it's a shame. And listen, they almost made it. You know, F you, Philly, for losing. You bastards. One way or another, Philly always messes us over. Whether it's through a win or a loss, you bastards.
They killed it.
Please don't tell me you're an Eagles fan.
Oh no, I'm
Uh, I,
Louisiana.
I
I'm
would have had to
Saints.
walk off right now.
No.
The
I,
Saints I do it, no problem.
yeah, and then this is like I have no expectations for them. I mean, we have one of the greatest quarterbacks of all times, but we have the shittiest team or whatever. And I appreciate
Okay,
him for sticking with them that long.
my brother. I lived in Massachusetts prior to moving to Orlando, Florida. All right, I've only been here a year and a couple of months. So when I got away from Massachusetts, I was like, hey, thank God, yo, because fucking Patriot country after them, they drive me nuts. And all of a sudden, Brady comes to Florida.
God damn it.
That's what I thought. I'm like, nah, they ain't gonna do shit. This team sucks. And yet, in year one,
And we throwing down the Lombardi trophy off of boats.
right? You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, okay. It hurts my very soul. It hurts my throat. My tongue fattens anytime I say this. But I must admit, Brady is the GOAT.
That's good, man. It's just damn. He
Okay.
left from a successful team and went
And
to
made
another
another team
team
successful.
and made another team successful. Yeah.
Crazy. It's like all these Floridians out here partying, but yo, son, if Brady was not here, you would not have gotten that.
Yeah.
So respect. It wasn't your team. It was Brady.
Mm-hmm. So I mean that begs to ask the question: is what if he went anywhere else? Would it have been the same result?
That's a good question because with the way that the Giants play, if you played for the Giants, I tell you, it would not have happened. I love my team, but yeah, nah, bro. They would have been dropping Brady's balls, bro. Both
Mm-hmm.
of them.
Yeah, and then like I said, Drew motherfucking Brees. Every
Breeze.
time he steps foot on the field, breaks a goddamn record somehow, but they still lose the game.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? That shit blows my effing mind that someone as good as him, like, you keep losing, son. Like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm. And I
I'm
mean, I understand his loyalty to the Saints or whatever because they was the ones that gave him a chance. He
Yeah,
brought a
but
super.
nah, man, move on, bro. I'm pretty sure that U.S. Saints fans want to see him win somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I respect him. I mean, because like every year it comes around or whatever. I'm just like, I mean, I don't get into details of contract length and all kind of stuff. So I don't know how long his contract is for. But like every year, I'm just looking. I was like, did he move? Did he get a trade yet? Because it was the same thing when for the Pelicans, the basketball team in New Orleans, Anthony Davis. He went to the Lakers, and I was not mad at that at all. Because like, dog, you would have never got a ring here in New Orleans.
At least you're honest, bro, and truthful to the cause.
Because New Orleans,
the Lakers is another one though.
Yeah, New Orleans suffers the same. Just their sports teams in general suffer the same fate. Anytime they get good components, they get rid of them. So I mean, the Saints historically did that. They won the first Super Bowl with an amazing squad. Traded all those pieces away, all of them. All of them gone.
Well, that sounds like the Florida baseball team. Didn't the year after they won the World Series, they broke up their entire World Championship team, and they haven't won? It's like, bad move, son. Bad move.
And then they don't have a baseball team in Louisiana. So when I moved to Houston, I adopted the Astros. So
oh man, poor man. But I mean, they're not that bad either, though. They're not.
Yeah. Year one, we talk about year ones and stuff. Year one, I moved here. They won the freaking World Series. So I was like, yeah, I did that.
Oh, that was the year they won when you moved?
Yeah, when I moved to this city, that was the year they won the World Series.
Oh, damn, bro. So you
I was like,
a good luck charm.
And I was just like, yeah, man, I'm good luck. And then we had Harvey. I was like, oh, I'm not good luck.
Now you curse the rest of the team. Oh, my gosh. Fantastic. How you guys dealing with the snow out there, bro? Because I know that Texas is not used to that white stuff.
No.
The only white stuff you used to, it's illegal. But
I mean, it's fine now. I mean, it last week was a shit show, and it's just like we had this conversation or whatever. That people are all over the place, like, oh man, they underprepared. Why they didn't have more stuff or whatever? I said because this is a once in a 30-year occurrence.
Really? Wait, once in the 30, so it happened before?
I mean, it's happened before, but it's like very rare and seldom that shit like this happens in the South or whatever. I mean, same thing with Katrina, same thing with Harvey. I mean, we get bad weather and whatever, but it never gets to the extent of this. That's why we're not ready for it. There's no winterized nothing down here. There's no freaking snow plows, none of that shit, because shit doesn't happen. But just this one time. Just this one time, it fucked everything up.
Oh, gotcha. Hold on. Let me call my daughter.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm sorry, and it seems like there you go. Thank you, sweetheart. That's my awesome college student kicking ass at Full Sail University.
At where?
Full Sail University.
Oh, so she down there with NXT.
For the media arts. Oh yeah, exactly. But because of fucking COVID. Do you know how angry I am when I found out that NXT is filmed there? And what's cool is that Full Sail gives their students hands-on experience. So it's them filming all that stuff and doing the production. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to meet a whole bunch of cool people as they start. Because if you don't believe it or not, there was this gentleman at the 7-Eleven that's 5 minutes from me. He was working on he was a jobber. Like working his way up. He's no longer at the 7-Eleven, so I'm thinking that his career is going to be taken off. I got to hit him up. His name is Mark, so shout out to Mark. But yeah, that's his whole thing. Apparently, at that 7-Eleven, we get a lot of the wrestlers from NXT going there. So he was like, that's how he met one of the producers of WWE. That he kept it quiet before people. He was like, "Oh, I know who you are." You know what I mean? Type scenario. Thank you for what you do. And the guy was like, "Thank you for keeping me quiet." And no problem. Here's my card. Hit me up. I was like, "Wow, like that." Like, yeah, very friendly. So yeah, hopefully one day I'll get to see NXT if Florida decides to open up fully.
Yeah,
and that's something like I said.
I mean, Florida ain't Florida Wild Wild West anyway. Just like they got everything going on down there. They're gonna have WrestleMania there this year again. Because
they're doing tons of stuff out here, but it's just me as an individual. I'm not going to partake just because I want to keep safe. I really don't want to get sick.
Have you had, since you're not a native Floridian or whatever? I think I said that right.
Yeah.
Have you experienced the Florida Man?
No, I've seen the Florida Man comic book, but I haven't experienced the Florida Man. No.
Oh man! Matter of fact, today. On my phone.
Today
on my phone. I was on Facebook or Twitter, one of the two, seeing a Florida Man ad flash up on my screen. And I always got to tag Brandon McIntyre. That's my homeboy, B-Mac. Because we always trade Florida Man stories with each other. Anytime we come across one, we send it to each other. So Headline: Florida man is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon for throwing an alligator through a Wendy's drive-through window.
Only in Florida. I used to say only in New York. No, only in Florida, certain things.
Florida man. Florida is the outbreak point for the pandemic, and it's the daggone freaking
Yeah, because we got psychos here. They want to party hard without masks, go into stores without masks, do everything without a fucking mask. Like, listen, bro, it ain't about you. It's about you respecting others. Just wear your shit, please. Respect me.
Eating zombie face, eating people there.
Bro, when I see, that's the shit that worried me, because I know there's psychos out here. I mean, the homeless population in Florida is absolutely insane. But what better place to be homeless, though? You know,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't get cold, really. The only thing you got to really worry about is them storms and shit.
Yeah, you know, and I've been here a year, so you know the hurricane season was really nothing, because apparently in Orlando, knock on wood, if I find any, it's only been about. Oh my God! Thank God my cat is not here. There's a lizard, and my cat she tears lizards up, yeah. And this little thing needs to run for its life.
Down, Daryl. That's my cat over there.
Oh man, yeah. Well, yeah. Listen, this is our first pet. She's been amusing. Although, one day I saw her at the window and she's staring, and I see her tail fluffy. She has this like mohawk going down the middle of her back. I didn't know what's going on. This is my first pet. So I see there's another cat out there hissing at her. So all I went to do is just grab my cat to try to move her away from the window, because I don't want them, any incidents. Bro, folks, when a cat is staring down another cat and they have a fluffy cat, a fluffy tail, do not touch them. Bro, my cat jumped on my face like Star with a fish. Made my lip look like a fucking twat. Right here, cut open. This is why I have a scar on my forehead. It's from her nails. Insane. So there you go. Lesson, folks. If there's another cat she's facing, don't touch the cat. Just close the window. Don't touch the cat. I got fucked up by a cat, bro. I got fucked up by pussy.
Now that was funny, because we were doing the wrestling podcast yesterday, and I randomly select people to jump on or whatever. I just send them a link to the chat and whatnot. So I had my homeboy Zip, and he was grossly unprepared, because he thought when I sent him the link, it was just like a link to watch the feed, but it was like a link to join the conversation.
Join the feed.
Yeah, so he in there with us or whatever, and there's a cat in the window looking at, just staring, like how you were saying, just staring out the window. I was like, hey man, you got cat over there? He's like, yeah, that's my cat. And he rubbing. I said, quit playing with your pussy on the camera. So we just sitting there talking, having a conversation about wrestling and shit. And another cat come up. And it's two cats looking out the window. I was like, God damn, you running a cat sanctuary or whatever? You got the pussy palace going on? So he's like, yeah, this is my cats. And then, so we getting into the conversation more. A third cat walk up and he just crawl up in the window and look. They all three cats looking out the window. And I'm just like, I didn't even address it at this point. You just see me on camera like,
yeah, right.
So what the hell is going on? And then he also got this Instagram account. I forget the name of it. Duck Man or some shit like that. He got like a little tribe of ducks just be following him around and shit.
Oh, really?
They got Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah, let me tell you, when I first lived in Florida for those first 3 months, many years ago, there was a certain duck that would always come to our window, because I would feed them. So ducks act like cats. You show them some food, they come every day when they see you. So it's like in the mornings, I would just go outside when I used to smoke cigarettes. I used to smoke a stove outside. This duck would see me from the other side of the pond and literally fucking run to me. And all you see is motherfuckers just like jetting, son, jetting. I'm like, what the hell? And he comes up to me looking for food. I'm like, no, this is a cigarette, homie. I don't think you want to smoke a stove unless you're Howard the Duck or something, Please tell me you remember how the duck movie.
Oh yeah, I just recently watched that movie not too long ago. I added it to the movie collection because it is a Marvel property.
But isn't it an awesome movie? I mean, it's cheesy and it's stupid, but that's Howard. Because if you ever read the comics, again, that was also one of my early iterations. I love the ducks always. Donald, Daffy, and Howard. Favorite. I want to see them in a three-way match. Who would win?
Oh man, you got to throw Scrooge in there. Scrooge
Oh,
McDuck.
but Scrooge is old. I don't want to be beating
Well,
an
now he could be the
elderly
special
duck.
guest referee.
Oh, he could be the referee. I don't want to beat an elderly duck, bro.
Then
That
you
ain't
can have
fair,
Huey, Dewey, and Louie on commentary.
bro. There you go. The duck verse done.
There it is.
With the random ramblings from Rob, we have the duck verse going on the Duck Wrestling Network, DWN.
You see, well, I'm gonna have to make a comic book now so you can put that in your stockpile and sell it later.
I want to see the Duck Wrestling Network. I see it already, bro. I love it. DWN, DWN, DWN. I hear the crowd chanting it right now. And Scrooge, do you smell the money?
Do you smell the duck soup?
Well, oh man, that's gonna terrify them, bro. That'll be when they wrestle like a wolf or something. Here's some soup.
Yeah, we want to ruffle their feathers. That's what we
No, we don't.
I need to get that sound drop. Get the rim shot.
Yes, you do, bro. You gotta.
All I got is this loud ass horns.
Oh yeah, man. Listen, that's good old Red Alert from back in the days in New York. DJ Red Alert, someone he was playing them horns.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in a great era of hip hop, and if you want to laugh there, it took my uncle from Puerto Rico to tell me at 10 years old, Alex, you don't listen to BLS? I mean, what are you talking about? Listen to this music. And he put my uncle from PR, not knowing a word of English, put me on to hip hop. And I fell in love ever since.
Music is transcendent. It goes beyond barriers, colors, and language.
And he's putting me on to, I mean, good hip hop, Big Daddy Kane, you know what I mean? Slick Rick, Public Enemy. And then I found Video Music Box after that with Ralph McDaniels. So it's like my journey started all because my uncle that didn't know a word of English said, have you ever listened to this station?
I mean, it kind of upsets me sometimes because I hear something with a great beat or whatever. I just can't understand the content because Bad Bunny just came out with that joint called Booker T, and I'm a wrestling fan. Booker T, I know who Booker T is.
Oh, I met Booker T in person. He is one of the coolest dudes ever. I used to put, I said, Booker T. He goes, yo, what up? And he just puts out his hand. His big ass hand is probably the size of my fucking face. He's a big dude, homie. He's a big homie for real. But he is so down to earth, Rob. He is just extremely cool. You know, yeah, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm doing. Just hit us up here. Like I could have him as a potential guest. So if I have him as a potential guest, you want to talk to him with me? Shit.
Fucking right.
That's Booker T, son.
I mean,
I grew up watching him on WWE.
Recording right now. I have this for audio record if this ever happens. I was like, hey, motherfucker, you remember? You remember?
No, I got you, bro. That if this happens, I will want you on it because, he again, just to repeat, he was just a very cool and humble dude, excited to talk about what he was working on, but more so, he wasn't even talking about himself, which is what's amazing. He was talking about his students in his wrestling school and his. I mean, he's you got to talk to my homie here and this cat here. I was like, yo, I mean, to see somebody on his level. Not even worry about who he is, but it's like, yo, you gotta check out my extended family.
He know his bread is buttered, baby. You gotta put on the homie.
He don't need the margin. He got that butter.
Mm-hmm. Booker T, future mayor of Houston. I'm putting that into existence.
Oh, word! Will he do it? You think? Will he go for it?
I mean, maybe because he do a lot of charitable work and all kind of other stuff down here. I mean, he definitely has a platform. His school is here in Houston. That's my only regret being in Houston this long and I haven't made it down there to daggone see a show yet. And my only excuse is that it's down there in Texas City, which is, surrounding. So I've been to New York. New York is a big little city, a lot of people. But Houston is the only place that I live in the north side and I could drive to the south side and that'll take an hour.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And still be in the same place. I don't understand that. From my door to the door of the childhood home that I grew up in is 2 hours and 30 minutes. Just think about that. Almost half of that drive is still inside of Houston.
Wow, really? How big is Houston? I've never been.
Well, Houston proper, the center or whatever. I mean, it's a real big size. But I mean, I'm north of Houston. I'm in Spring. So they just call it all Houston. You look at the map, it's like, all right, that's Houston.
No
It's
matter
all
what.
there. It's all the same.
So let's just rename Texas to Houston and be done with it. Come
Yeah, I
on.
mean, shit is the third largest city in the United States.
I like how you said that large little city with New York. Yeah. But ain't no city like it, brother.
Dog, I was just talking to somebody about it the other day, man. I thought I was gonna lose my life out there, man. It's just, and it wasn't like no, criminal shit or whatever. It was just I took an Uber to Times Square, and I'm not used to them roads and how people drive, and I'm in the back seat like,
Oh, these motherfucking taxi drivers, I hate them, son. I hate them in New York. I mean, listen, when you're riding with them, you love them because you're gonna get to where you gotta get to. But if you're a driver behind one of them, nah, you're not gonna be very happy. You're gonna want to murder one of them for real.
it was akin to. Have you seen the Men in Black movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember when him and Tommy Lee Jones, he hit the red button in the car and it was just like, that's how I was in the back seat. I was like, ah!
Yo, for real. That's how they listen. There was about 2 years ago that I had gone and I wanted to take my niece to a toy store, Toys R Us in Times Square. So we made the mistake of driving to the city, but we finally found a parking spot. And the moment we're about to start backing in, a cab just decides and starts honking at us, not to let us park. Bro, I was 2 seconds away from coming at that car. It took both my brothers and my wife to hold me down from opening the passenger door and beating some ass. Cause I was like, yo, we've been here an hour looking for parking. We found it, and this guy wants to be a dick. I want to kill him right now. Unfortunately, like I said, the New York has not gone out of me yet. I'm dying for it to leave because it's very crazy.
And that's another thing I didn't understand, because like Houston, just living in this area, this is the biggest city I've ever lived in, and all the places that I've been. So I'm not used to big city living yet.
Okay.
So we go to the Galleria, which is like the biggest, most expensivest mall out here in this bitch, right? This is where the celebrities go to shop and all this stuff. They got a Tesla store on the inside. They got a skating rink. They got all kind of crazy shit, right? So my first experience as an adult going to this place, I might have went as a child or whatever, but I don't remember that shit. But I let the family out. I was like, yeah, I'll get out. I'll go find somewhere to park. I'll meet you somewhere in the store. Hour later. So they done been around the whole fucking mall.
Oh,
they starting to get something to eat and shit. And I've been in the parking garage for an hour trying to find a parking spot. And I'm just like, this makes no sense. I'm never coming here again.
Yeah, but I was just waiting for them by the door. Y'all finish eating, because we gotta leave.
Yeah, because it was
or
just
how
like,
about you take the car and find parking? And I bet you they would have found something in a minute to piss you off.
It's just like I went in there and like the experience was just like I didn't give a fuck anymore. It was just like I just spent almost an hour trying to find a place to park to come in here for 10 minutes. I was like, fuck this shit.
This is why I tell most people that New York is a good place to get drunk in, because when you're blasted and if you have a friend that's looking for parking, you'll be cured by the time you get home, because that's how long it'll take you to find parking. One time, when I visited Mama Dukes from Mass, we did a after party for New York Comic Con. So we're around my mama's hood in Brooklyn. I'm blasted. Oh, wifey driving. She doesn't like to drink, which is great. I got sober looking for parking. By the time we found parking, I'm like, I'm not tired. I feel straight. I need to have another drink in order to get back to where I was. I could pass out. Bro, just to find a parking was 2 hours. So I understand your pain.
Yeah. And shit, when I went to New York that one time, because we went there to MetLife Stadium for WrestleMania.
Oh, you saw WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Which one?
That was the one Daniel Bryan. I mean, not Daniel Bryan. Kofi Kingston won the title, and that was the main event. Ronda Rousey, freaking Charlotte, and
oh wow, say word, nice one.
So I went there and got to see that, and we just paid for it. We was like, here, man, valet. We all put in on it. It was like, here, just take this.
Hey, please, you go through the fucking headache.
Like, you do it. I said, hopefully the car will be back when we get here. Here's my ticket.
Right? He probably was driving around the whole time. Like, all right, WrestleMania finished. I never found parking, but here's your car.
Fuck it. They just drive around the whole show. just constantly putting gas in there like a jet plane and shit. You know how they have another plane fly up to it so it can just
Yeah,
keep
that's how
flying.
it is, bro. Another car
Put it
came
in the
up,
car, just keep driving.
bro. Let me ask you though, when you were in New York, did you try New York pizza?
I I I
You
did.
didn't. Oh, you did.
This is what I did. I was in New York and I had a slice of pizza. So there you go. That's my New York slice of pizza. I didn't go to a reputable freaking corner store or recommendation. I was just like, it was after the show. I was
I'm
kind of
hungry.
drunk and I was like, hey, dog, hey, I can't leave yet. I'm in New York. I gotta get a slice of pizza. And I was like, oh, it's still open. Let me get a slice. And I just grabbed me a slice of some random pizza and I had it.
But let me ask you, are they the same size in Texas as they are in New York, and do you eat them the same way?
What, pizza?
Yeah.
Well, see, there's like not a Texas style of pizza or whatever. So what you get here in Texas is a lot of places co-opt in different places. Like yesterday, matter of fact, not yesterday, day before, because I love pizza.
Me too.
I had my first Detroit style pizza.
What the hell is a Detroit style
That's what
pizza?
I'm saying. I didn't know what the fuck this was.
What is it? What is it? What's the difference?
I didn't know it was a Detroit style pizza until somebody told me after the fact. But I mean, it's kind of deep dish, so it's a little
Okay,
thicker.
so it's bready. Okay.
Yeah, it's thicker, and I think they do like the sauce some kind of different way or whatever. I mean, I was like, it's just pizza. Let me eat it. I don't give a fuck. But they was
Nah,
like, yeah,
man.
that was Detroit style. I was like, okay.
Now, for me, nothing could beat a New York slice done right with semolina crust, where you fold it and it cracks.
Oh
Because
yeah, I
even
like that. I
here,
like that.
when here in Florida, motherfuckers eat pizza with a fork and knife. So when they saw me at the local shop, order a slice and just take
Doing
it
a
and
little
fold it
joint and
up.
crack.
Yep. And they're like, let me guess, you're from New York. I was like, oh, shit, how do you know? He goes, only you motherfuckers fold the slice. I'm
Now,
like, really?
dog, today I had a slice of pizza. I just like I stopped at the little joint to put air in my tire, and oh, my battery died. I stopped at the little joint, put air in my tire, and they got a place called Pepperoni's or whatever, and there's like they had the big flashing light. It was almost like Krispy Kreme, big red light flashing.
Oh,
It was like
damn.
it was like
Krispy Kreme.
it was like we sell by the slice. I was like, oh,
Ooh.
so I don't have to wait for a whole fucking pie? Hell yeah. I walk right up in
Oh.
there. I was like, he's like, how can I help you? Let me get a slice. He's like, no problem. He
Is it a
served
New
me up.
York slice? So
Yeah.
size.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was about yay big,
See,
thin.
I need people to understand that because it drives me crazy here. The local shop sells by the slice, and it's the New York size big old triangle.
Yeah.
But when you order a pie, there's like those Massachusetts small ass fucking Pizza Hut slices, and I hate that. So I'm like, why can't you give me house style? They're like, we can't do house style for out. Why not?
Oh, it's all right.
Fuck, bro. Give me my New York pie.
So let me get 8 single slices and just put them together.
You know what I'm saying? Bro, I when I go there, I actually look to see how many slices they have, like, ready to heat up. And if it almost equates to pie, I'll take all of those. Oh, why don't you get a pie? Like, nah, I'd rather pay more and get the size I want.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, ladies probably say that too. But...
Hey.
Hey, wepa.
But that's I've just been on a pizza kick lately. So within the past month, I've had the Chicago style, that are like the big cake looking slices.
Yeah, that shit. Yeah, you're right, bro. That is a cake, bro. That's what that is. It's cake with a little cheese and sauce on it.
Yeah. So I had that for the first time or whatever. I regretted begrudgingly I did not have that in Chicago because I like to go to the origin.
I hear you.
Yeah, because I was in Chicago and we found a pizza joint, but it wasn't like a no shit Chicago. It was more like
Chi-town one,
it was more like a New York style pizzeria in Chicago. That's because that's what it was like or whatever. It wasn't like the big monster pie cake looking Chicago shit. So I didn't get to have it in Chicago. I got a slice in New York, like the little long skinny joint.
Yeah.
And then only here in Texas, I've had a Detroit style. And then I had New York style and I had Chicago style all here because they just kind of imported because they don't have no Texas style. I think a Texas style pizza would have something to do with barbecue and some pulled pork or something. I don't know.
Ooh, what a pernil slice, bro? You talking to Puerto Rican? I would eat a pernil slice in a heartbeat. Some pernil, some pork shoulder, shredded all over Oh my god, bro, did we just invent the new slice here?
I don't know. Copyright Comic Crusaders. Yeah, Random
No,
Rob.
yeah, exactly. A random rambling with Rob's Comic Crusaders copyright for a Texas style pulled pork barbecue pizza. Oh my god, that sounds
See, now
delicious.
that's no short of a barbecue out here in Texas, because I mean that's one of their jams or whatever. Here, Kansas
So
City.
what's the biggest jam? So what's the big? Listen, you're talking to someone that was raised on the East Coast, up north, and now I'm here in Florida. What is the go-to food in Texas? Like this is what you gotta have when you're here.
Well, Houston specifically, since I've been here, there's a place called the Turkey Leg Hut.
The Turkey Leg Hut.
And
that's not the
it sounds weird, right? But yeah, they are making money hand over fist, daggone tricking out turkey legs, dog. Just like you can go there and just get a turkey leg dressed up with all manner of toppings or whatever. They got like a seafood turkey leg or whatever. They got all kind of turkey
on a turkey leg.
On a turkey leg. Is it like a big ass turkey leg? They put it on the
looking plate. Like a barbarian with those big ass legs.
Yes. Big ass turkey leg. They season it, cook it, and they put all your toppings on there. So like the seafood one, they got like shrimp and all kind of sauce. They just drop it on top of the turkey leg. I went and I had a baked potato turkey leg. So, but for mine, it was different. They put it in a plate and they pulled all the turkey meat off the bone. They diced it up with a big ass baked potato and they just put it all together. And it's just,
bro, that sounds so slamming right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, look them up on Instagram. You can get,
so let me ask you that.
Feed your eyes. But I would say barbecue is the go-to.
So let me ask, after you ate that turkey leg, man, did you have to unbutton your pant belt? Like, okay, let me unbutton this over here because I'm full.
Dude, I went on my off day. I made sure I didn't have to go to work.
Yeah, bro, because something like, those turkey legs are huge. I've never been a turkey leg. I'm a breast man. When it comes to turkey. In human life, I'm an ass man. But,
yes.
Yes. Yeah, well, when the meat is, that's what I like. Yeah, brother.
It's just, and I like it here because it's just so many different cultures here, man. They got all walks of life here. They got, let me tell you, when we first moved here, we was trying to find a barber for my boy. Not for me, of course. And my wife did the research and she found this place called, I think Clipper Boys, yeah. So it was spelled with a Z. So Clipper, yeah, and then like boys like
boys in the hood.
Yeah, but the S was a Z. So based on that alone, she thought it was a black barber. So
God,
give me the address. She's like, here, I found this barber shop. Take the boy there, see if we can get his haircut. Like, all right, cool. So I'm driving from my house, going to this address that she gave me, and slowly but surely the signs are changing from English to Spanish. I was like, it went from supermarket to supermercado. I was like, what the
did I go to Mexico all of a sudden?
So I'm just like, oh, okay. And then we get there and three amigos in there with the clippers cutting them up. And I was like, fuck it, we here. We made the journey. Get your haircut.
I hope they did a good cut.
Yeah, they did a good cut, and my son liked going there. So
that's great because listen, that's my whole joint because they were probably Mexican, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when it comes to Texas, it's like Mexican mostly.
I mean, they got all kinds. I mean, Guatemala, freaking.
But can you tell the difference?
I can tell the Guatemalans because they're all short. I can tell the Cubans because they wear tight clothes. The Puerto Ricans is kind of mixed bag for me, but once they start talking, I can kind of tell.
You know our dialect.
Yeah, right, so right. I'm figuring it out because it's the place I work. I deal with them every day, so it's just like I'm figuring it out slowly. So, but if you put them all in the lineup until they start talking, or I can recognize their style of dress, I was like, all right, maybe I can tell you your origin.
Gotcha. I like
the Guatemalans, they.
But thank you. I just want to say before you go there, just want to thank you for knowing the differences. Because the only other person I know that seems to know a difference between a Mexican, a Guatemalan, a Puerto Rican, a Dominican is 50 Cent. Cause he's like, there was this one time they interviewed him and they were talking about certain things, and I guess that topic came up. It's like, no man, West Coast Mexican, like up north, it's the Puerto Ricans, Dominicans. You go down south to Florida, it's Cubans. It's
Hmm.
like you got to understand their differences because our dialects are very different. Even
Hmm.
our looks are different. I know it's
Hmm.
hard to tell,
Yeah, yeah, I know, because
but but they're there.
yeah, because they had a couple of cats that come up there look just like me, and it was like, "Is speaky Spanish?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "Hey, man." So
That
I
is too
try.
fun. Oh, all right. So, do you know any Spanish?
I know Spanish to survive at work. If you drop me
That's
off
enough.
somewhere, I'm like,
Okay, so that means you know every single curse word, but you can't get into conversation.
pretty much. If somebody, if because we have some customers that come get upset and everything, so I ping the cuss words and be like, all right, I didn't understand that, but I heard puta
I
and
know you
yeah,
mad.
I know you mad. Yeah,
Excellent.
but me is almost like a script. They'll be like, they speak Spanish. I was like, was I say what's up just to see if gauge the level of English, and
I
they'll be
love
like,
how you brought that up when you say you speak Spanish. Just for people to know, that's where our derogatory word came from. The word "spick" from "speaky."
whoa.
Like, do you speaky? Oh, so they say, oh, he's a spick when he says that. I'm like, oh, word. And I changed that spick, SPIC, into Spanish person in control. That's all it is,
Ah,
folks. Wepa.
I see, I see, I see, I see.
But that's where the origin of our derogatory term came from, was that speaky.
Word. I see. Now
Yeah,
I'm
like
educated.
what would we call white people honky? You know that story?
Vaguely.
You
I,
know, it's them honking the horn when they were in a black neighborhood to get somebody outside their house. Hey, come out the house. They're honking because they want to come out the car. It's a little honky.
makes
I
sense.
love when you start thinking, looking into the origins of words like that. Like why? It's
I
crazy.
used to even go a little deeper when I used to experiment with the green things. I was just like, how did this word even happen? How are the words that are coming out of my mind? And I'm like, I'm high as fuck, and I'm looking at my lips like, how are these words even making sense? Who made these words?
What am I hell am I saying? My God, look, hear me now. I hear you, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? No, but I get. Listen, I still partake in those herbal refreshments. Yes, I
I
do.
wish I could,
So,
but I can't.
and it's okay. You shouldn't. It's a bad habit, and
Mhm.
I'm trying to quit, to be honest, because even though it's nice and relaxing to kind of rest my brain, but I saw a show the other day. It's like, why do you want to rest your brain? I was like, you know what? That shit kind of hit me. Like, it's true. If I have all these ideas still flowing through me, whether I'm high or not, why not work on the ideas and fuck the high? You know what I mean? And but of course, years of smoking,
Yeah, it almost like a habit, or
trying
like
to
a.
stop. Yeah, trying to stop cold is difficult, to be
Mhm.
honest. So, but it's my journey. I will be stopping smoking, so that way maybe I'm less in the clouds, if you will.
Mhm.
But that'll just make me all the more dangerous. So I'm pretty sure everybody wants me to keep smoking the competition because you don't want to sober out, man. God, because shit, when I'm thinking, I come up with stuff, and again, like I said, I have a great team that takes action on my ideas.
Word. I mean, what's something, if you can divulge, what's something that you got in the pipeline, or something that you think you might
Okay,
want to try
so
to work on?
not try to work on, but being worked on.
Oh, word.
And through my partner from the PCNN, Club CX, from the Critics Network, we're trying to do an OTT network, basically bringing a channel, a geek channel, live to you guys,
Word.
offering an abundance of different types of shows, showing different perspectives amongst everything that's pop culture. So, I'm doing my vidcast and my podcast, sure, but all of this is a grounds for experimentation on actually creating a network uh, around our culture. And that's not just to say comic culture, but pop culture.
Yeah.
So bring in some music, bring in film that's along the geeky verse, bring in the comics, bring in podcasts, bring in vidcasts, just talk about the journey.
Mhm.
Because I think these are things that people want to know about. So many people, like I know you mentioned earlier, a lot of people are jumping into the game of podcasting and vidcasting, but many of them are doing it without truly understanding what you have.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I just want to do it. Nah, bro, it's just not like that. You should have a mission of why you want to do this, and then obviously, make sure you follow the avenue to get educated to do this,
Mhm.
because it is education. You will learn every single day something new. I know I have every single day of my journey with podcasting and vidcasting. I've learned new things, new tools, new trades, new ways to do things. It's just part of the journey. That's called growth. And don't be afraid of it.
Word.
That I tell people this, never be afraid. With Comic Crew, I never been afraid just to ask, what's the worst anyone could say?
No, and that's about it.
Exactly. And
And
what
then
exactly? They say no, and guess what? You try again in 6 months when your show's a hit,
yeah,
and then they'll probably say yes. And if they say no again, then try again in a couple of months,
yeah.
because
Or
you're
do it
working your lane.
yourself, like Thanos.
Yeah, bro. Get it done, son, with a snap. No, I wish it was that easy with a snap, but it's not. It's a
Yeah,
journey, and there's only a few of us that are willing. Like I say, I think we're masochists in a way, where we like the pain, but we're building towards something that has a true value to our core geek fan base.
yeah. And
You
then
know,
if it was that easy as a snap or whatever, I mean, Big and Little Tony wouldn't have a job. So
exactly. We want them breaking legs, but we also want to be able to have the opportunity to grow and be able to expound upon what we do in the most positive fashion possible. Because again, that's what I'm trying to do. Sell our culture, sell our fandom positive, right?
mhm.
Put the most smallest books side by side with the biggest books, because guess what? They're still books. They're printed, right? So why shouldn't they be able to stand side by side, whether you're independent or big two or premier? Doesn't matter. You guys are all producing. And I can't create a comic book for my life. So kudos to everyone doing that. To be honest, I may be on this culture, but I haven't sat down to learn how to create a comic book.
Yeah.
But I could definitely talk to you about a comic book.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean? So this is why that goes back what you said earlier, where try not to shit on people that are creative, because they've put so much time into it. So unless you could do it, shh.
Yeah, I don't
You
even
know what I
talk
mean?
about people who in the music biz anymore or whatever, because I'm like, oh man, all these little rappers is just
All
like,
these mumble rappers,
yeah,
right?
all
But
these
yet these
mumble
motherfuckers got some hits.
yeah, I know they doing it though, motherfucker. Travis Scott and all them other bastards, they got a damn McDonald's meal out of the deal, and they got tennis shoes and all kind of stuff, shit you would have
Yep.
never heard of in the past, in like 20 years ago or something.
Yeah, and that's sad though, because in our era, those rappers definitely deserve that.
Mhm.
I mean, because we had legends,
Yeah.
BDK, KRS, Black Moon, we had all those cats, brother. So it's like, why can't
What
we do that now?
the only thing that I feel like, because I mean, there are some artists out there that are good, if not better than what we used to have. But I
Of
think
course.
the advantage that these guys have now is that they're better businessmen than our guys were back then.
Oh, absolutely. And just the advantages of the social media platform to
Exactly,
further
that
the
too.
brand. I mean, and
They
then you
don't have
have
to go
people
sell out the trunk. They can just open up a little Etsy store online or some shit
and
and
done.
just
I mean, 50 Cent is for me one of the greatest examples. I mean, he started off the trunks, like you said, selling those mixtapes. But then he learned about business, vitamin water, and everything else. He has a book called Hustle Hard, Hustle Smarter. Yo, listen to that audiobook because he reads the book. Bro, though, you laugh, but he's dropping some knowledge. Like, for me, I wasn't college educated.
mhm.
All right. I graduated high school and I had to go to work, to feed myself, family. And when I hear cats like him kind of try to teach you the street methods, that's my college though. And the thing that he talks about are so simple psychological things that it just makes sense. So please listen to that book. A shout out to 50 because what he did there was awesome. I fell in love with this book. I was like, all right, there's a man speaking to me, especially because this is coming from him.
Yeah.
It feels so much more natural.
Mhm.
Great book, and you can get it for free on YouTube.
Word. University of YouTube coming through in the clutch.
Wepa, that's right. When I told people about that, they laughed at me. Just like I saw you smart. You like 50 a book. Yeah, though, but it's good though. Trust me. When you come from where I came from, listen to somebody like him talk about the come up, you're like you connect much more.
I understand.
You know.
Speaking of connecting and everything like that, I appreciate you for connecting with me today and giving me your time. I'm glad that we finally got to make it happen.
Finally, it took 2 weeks, people. You have no ideas.
Yeah.
Or even more than that, but it's all good, bro. For me bro, thank you for allowing me space on your platform. I love what you do. You real, and you know what I love about what you do? It's just natural conversation. It's just politicking. CEO to CEO.
I forgot my intro. I just got lost in the conversation.
You're gonna add the intro after the
I'll put it on later. I'll do it in post. I have my people
bro.
call your people. We'll make something happen.
Yeah, but this is wonderful. I want to thank you, man. Your platform is really cool. You really do bring a very natural vibe to conversation. So thank you. You're kicking ass, brother. So
thank you. I appreciate that.
I foresee big things for you.
Word. I really appreciate that.
And
before you go, let everybody know where they can find you on social media and what you got going on.
Very simple, folks. Yo, you can follow me on my personal at the real Almega everywhere. Okay, I'm good, just like him, trying to capitalize and make sure I get my name. But of course, when it comes to the branding, anything you want to know about comic books and comic pop culture, in a written form and even on podcast form, check out comiccrusaders.com. But then, of course, also check out our podcast network, where we have a wonderful team talking about DC in one show, Marvel on another, India on another, TV and movies on others. Undercovercapes.com. It's all about pop culture. And again, we do everything in a positive fashion. And I promise you, no politics, just fandom. We're trying to empower fans one at a time to love our culture, sell it, and again, sell it in a positive manner. There's enough negativity out in the world. We don't want to partake in that.
Yeah, fuck that Snyder cut. Nah.
I'm looking forward to it. So what? Wait a minute.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm just tired of hearing about it.
I want to have this on air now because I already said if I get Booker, you're gonna be on with me. But when the Snyder cut comes out, I want you to watch it.
Oh yeah.
I want you to come onto the Comic Crusaders podcast to talk about that.
I'm down.
Fair?
I'm down.
Yeah, folks, talk about collaborations, son. All right, I want you on that podcast so we could dissect this movie. And hopefully, listen, whether it's positive or negative, I'm not going to try and shit on the movie, but if it's not good, we're going to be honest about it.
Yeah. And then I think it'll be cool to do because, once again, I have none of that knowledge of the source material per se, and you seem to have enough of it. So, I mean, that's going to be pretty cool.
And God forbid I have another team member join on because I got people that are, you think I know my stuff? No. These guys live and breathe this stuff that they know the aunts and uncles of the characters. I'm like, Jesus Christ, bro. Extended family, son.
Uncle Clark.
Right? They know Clark Kent's uncles and aunts and shit, not just the parents. You know what I mean? And cousins and second cousins,
I guess I could have figured that out if I watched Krypton, but I wouldn't know about that life.
Wait, you know what? Krypton isn't half bad, and their representation of Lobo was spot on. They had a cool Lobo. So if you're a Lobo fan, you want that crazy Zarnian, check out that show. It's really cool.
The only thing I know about Lobo is they had the almost like the Christmas special type deal.
Oh my God, you saw the fan film. That was so funny.
I seen that. Yeah, I seen that. That shit was hilarious.
No, bro. Listen, Lobo is Deadpool before Deadpool. That's what that is. And basically, I really feel that when it comes to the antics, that Lobo is a big ripoff. I mean, Deadpool is a big rip on Lobo.
Word. And Danny Trejo wanted to play him at one time.
Oh my God, bro. Danny Trejo, you got to see him in Seis Manos. Have you ever seen that Netflix Latino anime? It's in English, though. There's a Latino anime, and it's called Seis Manos. And Danny Trejo is the big bad. Yeah. Whole martial arts. Mexican martial arts at that, bro. No, I'm not saying they're fighting with tacos and burritos. They fight with their hands,
said it, not me. You said it. It's okay. He said it, so it's good.
I'm a Latino. I have to talk shit about mi gente, all right? I say, hold on, coño. But you thought it.
One second, though. I call that Mahente. That's my people are like me, right?
Yes, my
All right, cool.
people.
Because
My
I
people,
because
mi
I
gente.
because they had a website back in the day when Black Planet was popular. It was another one that was for Latinos called Mahente, and I was like, I wonder what the hell that mean. And here we are. It comes full circle.
Full circle, but you know what though? Whether we're black, Spanish, white, Asian, we're all one under the geekdom umbrella. So just, yeah, you know what I mean? So keep that in mind, folks. We're all not that much different, man.
Nah.
We love what we love and let's celebrate what we love. If we don't like it, it's okay because somebody else does. No
Mhm.
need to fucking dismiss it or diss it. If it's not you, that's what you gotta say. This is not for me. That's all.
Exactly. Some people like broccoli, some people don't.
Yeah, bro. Listen, when I was growing up, I hated the smell of broccoli because I was like, damn, did dad fart again? You know? But now that I'm older, now I could eat broccoli. I'm like, damn, put a little butter on that shit. This is good, son.
Exactly. But as it is for every guest of the Random Rounds with Rob, you've been a guest. The door is always open for you to come back to promote your next big thing or just to come shoot the shit.
I'd rather shoot the shit with you because when my next big thing comes, man, I want you to be a part of it too. Because I love what you're doing, Random Rambling Rob. Yes, it's an awesome show. The 3 R's, yo, blessed, bro. Thank you for having me on. I feel very honored.